Welcome to the Power of One. Today, we're going to have a very serious conversation about surgeries and how some people may want surgeries to enhance the way that they look. No judgment, just a conversation. But as all of the viewers know, the Power of One TV show is to educate because we care about you. Today, I'm going to have a young lady on the show, Brandy, who has decided to have some surgeries, and we will discuss that, but we will also discuss what the risks are. Welcome to the show, Brandy. Brandy, tell the viewers a little bit about yourself, your childhood, and where you went to high school.
Okay, hi, my name is Brandy. I'm 40 years old. I went to high school, Hollihan, and I also went to Ben Franklin.
Okay. Now, when you were growing up, were you a bubbly little girl, or even talk about your teen years? Did you like who you were and like your appearance?
hmm yeah, I think I was always like bubbly, free spirit, very outspoken. Yeah, I was pretty much very comfortable with my appearance growing up.
Okay. All right. So today we're speaking about people who have gotten surgeries to alter their physical appearance. At
Mhm.
what age did you look at your appearance to say, I think I want to have something done?
I think at the age of 14, actually.
Really?
So I grew, yeah, I know, right? So I was always like flat chested. I was like an A cup. So I mean, I think I was like curvy for that particular time anyway. I think I always had curves. So but I just didn't have any chest. I was flat chested. So I said, when I get old enough, I'm going to get breast implants. That was like the first like surgery that I was actually like really, really anxious to get. So yeah.
So now that was at 14. Was
hmm
there something that influenced you, or this is just something that you said? Was it like your friends who had maybe like C cups, or were you looking at something on TV?
It could have been more so like TV
Okay.
influence. Because at the
Okay.
time, around that particular time, what was what was on? Well, let me fast forward. I'm not gonna say, all right, yes, 14 is when I wanted breast implants because like I said, I was flat chested, but what really influenced me, I'm gonna say fast forward, like probably around 20. Like
Okay.
so it's like that really like set the tone, like, okay, I'm gonna do this. Like, at 14 it was a thought. Like I want bigger breasts. I didn't really know about actual breast implants, but I just knew I wanted bigger breasts. So fast forward, moving to 20. Around that time, that's when it was a reality show called The Girls Next Door. I was obsessed with that show. It was like Hugh Hefner and the Playboy mansion with the Playboy bunnies or whatever.
Oh,
So yeah. So all of them, they pretty much had breast implants and stuff like that. So it's just really like, so it really
okay.
set the tone for me. I'm like, okay, this is what I want to do. Yeah.
Okay. Because I did do a little research, and I saw on the internet, and I know 99.9% of whatever's on the internet is not accurate. But I did a little bit of research,
Right.
and it did say that for the BBLs, and you
Mhm.
educated me on
Right.
BBLs. And I was like, what is a
Uh-huh.
BBL? I know what a BLT is. Look, I love to eat.
I'm
Okay.
crying.
I'm like, BBL's a Brazilian butt lift. And you were educated
Uh-huh.
me on that. And I did see on the internet, it said in the 2000s is when that actually spiked. When
Right.
you had the Jennifer Lopez, the Nicki Minaj that was always being seen on
Right.
TV. Did that influence you also?
Not in my early 20s, because like I said before, back then I was like kind of like the standard butt size. It's not like because it's a difference now. Because if you look at any female back then that you thought had a huge butt, but it's so small compared to these girls. you
Right.
know? So like back then that wasn't my issue because I always had, something back there. So that
Right.
wasn't my issue then. it was, like I said, it was more so breast implants. But moving forward, I'm gonna say when the BBL train came along and it just started flooding social media. I think around like 2015. So, moving on, that's when it really was like flooding social media. So I think that definitely um, you know, had an influence because because you see women every day looking so curvy, looking nice in their clothes, and now what you used to look like when you felt like you were super curvy compared to these girls where their body is altered with like these tiny waists and these massive hips, and now you start to look like, oh, I don't even it's like it kind of give you like body dysmorphia, if you would
Okay.
say. Like you start
Okay.
looking at yourself and you see certain things that, that you once was like, I guess, okay with. Now it don't even seem like, it really was much. So yeah, I
Okay.
feel
Yeah,
like,
because you've always
yeah.
been shapely, a young lady.
Mm-hmm.
And but
Yeah,
like
right.
you said, so you got your breast implants, and then
Mm-hmm.
the BBL comes, and you're like, okay, I'm looking
Right.
cute with my breast
Right.
implants, and then you think and you're styling down the bottom, and you're like, oh wait,
Right.
now did you? So women who you would see that are now like
Mm-hmm.
really curvy all the way around,
Right.
did that make
Uh-huh.
you feel insecure about your body?
I wouldn't say it made me feel insecure. I was never insecure about my body because um I still was like, I can't, it's weird to say that you still secure with yourself, but you still fixed it. But I just feel like it's more so, you see what you see what you could look like. And it's like you're aiming for perfection. You see what I'm saying? So around that time, I was, in my early 30s. I think I was like 31 or something like that when I got to be. So I had put on weight, you know, uh, my body wasn't looking the same as it was when I was younger. Yes, I could have worked out for it, but it was like a quick fix. It's like, okay, well, I could lay on the table and get this done within 7 hours versus me going to the gym and it's a year. Like, so,
Okay.
that was more so than what it was. But I wouldn't say it was a insecurity, but I just, it was just something that you constantly see every day, every single day. Like, so it's just I feel like if you had the money, it's like, why not? I could do it. So
Okay.
if I could
Now
make myself
tell
look
me,
better.
okay, so tell me about your mom. So was your mom somebody like you looked up to? And I'm speaking
Hmm.
in all aspects, even, shape and all aspects.
Hmm.
Was that even an option, or your option was, no, I'm going to look like what I think is a diva over here?
Well, my mom was older at the time, so it was like I definitely wasn't, but it was more so, yeah, you just want to fit the the aesthetics of what's now. And I hate to say
Okay.
that, like, body
Right.
has become like a trend because that's what it is now, and it's like a body shouldn't be a trend. Now you got the BBLs. Now it's back to now the trend now is skinny. Going back to the
Right. And it just
2000
flips
with the.
back and forth. I've never been one. So I guess I've been always been like an old soul. So I've never been
Mhm.
one that looked on social media or looked on TV to say, I
Right.
mean, I wanted to be like that. And again, no judgment, not passing no judgment to
Yeah, of course.
anyone, but I
Mhm.
never looked at that. For me, my role model was always my mom. But,
Right.
here I am, and you know, I I always had a little shapely body. I've always
Mhm.
had the breast and the little booty
Right.
and thighs. So
Uh-huh.
I always looked at my mom as my role model. I look at my dad as my
Right.
role model also. So I
Right.
never really looked at like anyone who was on TV or anyone who was on social media. Now, break down for the viewers your surgeries,
Mhm.
your timeline for your surgeries, and what you got done.
Okay. 2007, I had my breast done, breast augmentation. I went from a size A to a full C, small D. Then 2016, I had got liposuction in a BBL. And 2021, I went back and I got a mommy makeover, which is lipo. I didn't get a BBL this time, but it was lipo, tummy tuck with muscle repair, and I got my breast redone. So I had got a lift, my old implants taken out, and new ones placed in. So yeah.
Was that expensive?
Oh, and my teeth. Yeah, I guess if you want to add that one too.
Okay.
Yeah, so I
So,
got my teeth done in 2022.
okay.
Yeah,
Now,
2022.
where did you
Mhm.
travel to get these things done? Or did you get it done in Philly?
I traveled to I do medical tourism. Yeah, not medical, yeah, medical tourism. So my body I got done in the Dominican Republic, and my teeth I got done in Turkey, in Istanbul.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Upon
Mhm.
doing some more research, and one I know for a fact myself, there
Mhm.
was a young lady who was known as the Black Madam who was doing the
Right.
injection. Didn't call it BBL,
Mhm.
and she was doing it
Right.
at a hotel by the airport,
Right.
and she
Yeah.
had no license, no medical background, no nothing. And unfortunately, a young lady actually passed away. And she's
Mhm.
had, and a couple of other young ladies was messed up by what she did. I further did
Right.
some research, and there's a gentleman by the name of Vinny Taylor. He's from Philly, and
Okay.
he's doing injections. No medical background. I
Okay.
mean, I'm floored, Brandy,
Mhm.
that you have people who would entrust their lives with someone who would inject them with silicone. And this is like,
Right. Right.
again, I mean, they just have silicone and they're injecting them. Someone died under Vinny Taylor doing what he was doing also. So both of
Mhm.
these people are locked up. So do you think people went that route because one costs? Is it real? Is
Um.
it expensive to get this done? And why would you trust somebody? I mean, oh, you meet me in a hotel room and I'm going to go ahead and give
Right.
you an
Right.
injection.
Yeah, there's a multitude of things, but definitely I feel like cost play a factor, and also some women don't have enough. So in order to get a BBL, you have to have a certain amount of fat on you to even, because it's a fat transfer. So they're removing fat from one part of your body and placing it in your buttocks. So if you're like relatively thin and you want a BBL, there's nowhere they can, get the fat from. So
Mhm.
they will go that route, because I do know thin girls that have went that route in the past. So now they have legal injections that can be done, but back in the day they didn't. You had to do it with fat. And I also feel like women that will entrust a stranger or somebody that don't have a medical background is out of desperation, and I don't want to say low self-esteem, because it wouldn't be no different than me trying to go to an actual doctor that I can afford to go to. But but I really feel like it's out of desperation, or probably low self-esteem, to the point where you feel like you need this bad that you wouldn't trust a stranger to,
Mm.
you know, to perform some type of surgery like that on you. That's just crazy. Yeah.
How much was your total cost for all of the surgeries that you had done?
Um, I think I rounded up to like 23,000.
There is a huge risk in getting these surgeries done
Mm-hmm.
because you could possibly pass away. Did you
Mm-hmm.
actually process all of that when you decided to have your surgeries done?
Yeah, I processed all that. But just like everybody else, you're like, oh well, it's not gonna happen to me. And
Mm,
also, I did a lot of extensive research, and it doesn't matter how good the surgeon is, anything can happen, because it's a surgery, and surgery is risk. It comes with risk, period. You can get risk of infection, risk of blood clots, pneumonia from being under anesthesia for so long, and so yeah, it comes with a multitude of risks. I definitely factor that in, but me, I have a medical background. So I did everything to my ability to make sure that I was totally healthy and, so I will be able to have a better chance of recovering.
Mm.
Yeah.
How old are you now?
I'm 40.
Okay. You look great. You look amazing.
Thank you. Thank
Society has tainted us to where like we're
you.
getting older. Now I'll be 52 in a couple of weeks. And society
Okay.
taints us. Like when we get our gray hair and we want to dye it, you know what I mean? We get the pouch
Right.
and even if we have kids, we feel like we can't age with grace and we're
Right.
chasing. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. Being 40
Right.
now and
Hmm.
having all of the surgeries that you had done,
Hmm.
do you
Hmm.
regret it?
Um, yeah, I do. Only because I put on like a significant amount of weight. So the more weight that you gain, the bigger that your buttocks become. So right
Mm,
now it's
okay.
huge. So I gotta drop like 40 to 50 pounds. But
Okay.
that's like one of my biggest regrets. And also, yeah, that's basically one of my biggest regrets. And also, like we had this conversation before. I just feel like, men objectify women anyway. And then when you look this certain type of way, it's like 10 times, like it's just 10
Mhm,
times
mhm,
crazier. So so then it's also hard to find like to really like date because then you just don't know if a guy really wants you for your body or,
mhm, mhm.
just for your personality. So
So when you have this surgery done and say you have the perfect body, if you gain
mhm.
weight, the your body will expand.
Yeah, where they place the fat at for the
Okay.
most part.
Okay.
Yeah. Because it's like, well, we born with one set of fat cells. So let's just say this is like a balloon. So if you gain weight, it blows up. If you lose weight, it deflates. It never goes nowhere. So if your trouble area was like your midsection and
Mhm,
they lipo your midsection and then they place it in your buttocks, your midsection really is not going to be a problem or no more. Now it's going to be your buttocks because they removed that set of fat cells and
mhm.
they placed them there. So yeah, so as you gain weight, it blows up, and as you lose weight, it shrinks back down. So yeah,
Okay.
so you have to
Okay.
really like keep up with it. Hmm.
Now, with your regret of attracting the wrong type of gentleman, do you
Hmm.
find that your whole wardrobe has changed? Like I'm sure when you first got the body, I know you was like, okay, I'm gonna wear as little clothes as possible. I'm just saying, like
Right,
if that's how it was.
right.
But now your whole wardrobe has changed where you're like, okay, I don't want to draw attention to my body. Did you go through that change?
Yes, and I'm not sure, like, because I think two things play the factor. I'm not sure if it's age related as well. You know what I mean? Because I'm like, I'm 40 now, so of course I can't be out here because I have a 20-year-old daughter. I can be out here wearing the same thing my 20-year-old daughter wearing.
Right.
So that's one of the reasons, and also, you don't really have to do too much when you got a body like, super curvy. It's like, girl,
Okay.
like doing
Okay.
too much is, too much. Like it just looks,
So you
yeah.
said you have a 20-year-old daughter. Tell me about your
Hmm.
daughter. And she saw all of these transformations.
Hmm. Yeah.
How was
So
she?
okay. So my daughter, she's 20, she's in nursing school, so she's about to graduate in December. So she said when she's graduated, she's thinking about, well, she's not thinking about, she said she's going to get her body done. Do I want her to do it? Absolutely not.
Mhm,
But
mhm,
she already got her mind made up. And I asked her, was it because of me that I influenced any of this? She said no. And I feel like I kind of believe her. I feel like it's 50-50 because her generation, like it's girls that's 18, 19, 20 already got BBLs. You see what I'm saying? So she sees this is like, so she grew up on social media, you
mm,
know? So this is just like in her face all day. She watch a lot of reality TV. This is all she see is women with the perfect bodies.
Right.
So, right. So yeah, so she said that I really wasn't like the major factor in, her making that, decision, which I kind of believe because like I said, it's girls that she went to
It's
school
social
with in the
media.
past that, oh my God, look, she got so, it's just it's everywhere.
Now,
Yeah.
so tell me about this. And for the viewers who don't know, you might be looking at us saying, "Oh my goodness, they look alike." Okay, because we're cousins. And I'm
Right.
thankful for Brandy coming on to the show. Like I could not approach someone to say, "Would you come on the show and do this?" But Brandy knows my heart, and I'm not doing this to
Right.
make her look bad in any way. We just had an education. We just had an educational conversation, and our goal is to educate our sisters. So we come from the
Right.
same
Right.
family. So Randy,
Mhm.
break something down for me. Like again, and I can't relate to this part as far as like looking on TV to say, oh, I want to look like that.
Right.
Again, because
Right.
I'm a mini Pat. That's my mama. I'm a mini
Mhm.
Pat, and I want to be like a mini Pat.
Right. Right.
So
Mhm.
I don't, and looked at social media. I don't do the reality shows, and I looked at, some stuff, but never in my
Mhm.
mind did I say, oh my goodness, I want to be like that. Like, I don't even like using the word
Right.
celebrity. You know what I mean? Because
Right.
I'm
Right.
like,
Mhm.
like they get these big
Right.
heads, and it's just like, okay, no, how about I don't want your autograph? You
Right.
need my autograph. How about that one? You know what I mean?
Period.
So how do you get in that mindset of I want to be like somebody on TV who we don't even know? That could be horrible,
Mhm.
but we just see the
Right.
body. How did you speak to that part as far as you and your daughter, just looking at that part and saying, I want my body to be like that.
I think environmental factors, so it's like being around people, places, and things, so I grew up in, urban hood area, so
Okay.
I
Okay.
feel like it's like a lifestyle, if that makes sense. So it's like you sometimes become a part of that lifestyle until like you kind of grew out of it. Like me, like
Mhm.
I'm older now, so I grew out of that stage and that lifestyle. So, you grow up, in the hood, you clubbing, you hang around certain people. So you in that atmosphere.
Mhm.
So they said birds of a feather flock together. So it's like
Right.
it was like if that's what you're around and that's what you see, or that's what you consume, and that's what you'll end up becoming. So I
Okay.
think environmental factors definitely play a huge role. And I'm not just saying that all urban girls only, because it's
Right.
definitely a lot of because when I was down in DR and also when I was in Turkey, I met people from, different walks of life.
Mhm.
But I do feel like this is more so a urban thing, the
Yeah.
rap, like all that type of stuff, hip hop and everything like that. So yeah, so it's like it's what I was surrounded by, and it's like what my daughter is around.
Mhm.
Yeah. So
Mhm.
I think that plays a huge role.
What message, what powerful message would you have for that young lady and for your daughter who wants to get this
Mm-hmm.
surgery because they're not satisfied with the body that they're in?
Right. Um, I feel like you just have to confidence come from within. It doesn't matter what you look like. You know what I mean? Because like I said, I see the baddest of the baddest. It
Mhm.
doesn't matter what you look like. Confidence come from within. It's like how you feel about yourself. And if you're truly like, strong minded and confident, you know, um, none of this really doesn't matter. It's just at the end of the day, it's just a body. It
Right.
doesn't it doesn't get you it doesn't
Mhm.
get you a millionaire, it doesn't get you, what I
Mhm.
mean? It is what it is.
Mhm.
So, you just have to be doing it for the right intentions.
Mhm.
So if it's truly, truly for you, then I think you'll be fine. But if it's because you're trying to fit a certain image, or if you're trying to get a certain type of guy or whatever the case may be, then you went for a rude awakening, So
Yeah.
you got to
Now,
do it. Just
did you do yours for a guy? And do most women do it to attract men?
no, I didn't do mine for a guy because at the time when I got mine done, I was in a relationship, and he always complimented me, and I always got attention. I got a lot of attention. But like I said, I feel like it was more so aiming for perfection. When I did it, I didn't have a man in mind, like men in mind, like, ooh, I want these men, that wasn't it. It was more so how I wanted to look in clothes. And I was constantly, seeing females on Instagram. And I was like, oh my gosh, she looks so good in it. Like, it's like I could
Mhm.
just throw on anything and it look good. Like, I don't have to sit a certain way. I don't have to pose a certain way in pictures trying to suck in my gut. So all that played a factor. It was never me seeing it. I didn't. I like. I want to be clear. I didn't have low self esteem. I didn't hate the image that I seen in the mirror. It was just I want to perfect the image that I seen in the mirror. So yeah, so that's what that was about. And I can't speak for all women. I don't know.
Mhm.
You do have some
Mhm.
women that probably, because I can't speak for all women, because like I said, I didn't grow up with a, like, I wasn't bad built, like where I had like
Right,
a like a
right.
crazy weird shape or anything like that. And you had some women that grew up like, that's
Mhm.
that really wanted to change their look, and it probably did play on your self-esteem. That wasn't my issue. My issue was me trying to perfect, and oh, I'm tired of, and I was just too lazy to go to the gym. I was like, I'm
Right,
tired of holding my
right,
stomach. I don't want this roll right here,
right.
so yeah.
Okay. Well, I just want all the viewers to know, no matter who you are and no matter
Hmm.
what your body shape is, you are you and you are beautiful. Thank you so much for joining me today for this very serious conversation. It is my hope that you learned something. What I want you to take away from this show is you are unique and you were made just the way you are for a purpose. Understand your body, understand who you are, and know you are you, and no one can be you. So appreciate the skin you're in, appreciate your body, and grow older with grace. Do not become stigmatized by what we see on TV. Peace and love.